hold on to your hats.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Hello there. Voici le bienvenue, etc. I'm Siobhan. Welcome to the Flash and Blade podcast. Oddly, as always, Eddie is on that side of me and Brian's beneath me. Discord seems to do that. I don't know why. It's an automatic thing. Oh, what a week. Yeah. What a week.
Yeah.
Let's try and look at some of the...
over.
Well, it is. This is the start of the new week.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I thought that might cheer you up.
We have fresh hell to look forward to.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Let's look at the news, shall we?
Do we have to?
Yes, we
well,
do.
may as well.
I know it's a terrible thing, but the next tweet along that Emily Cook's organised for World Enough in Time and the Doctor Falls is Evening Adam is the last one.
Aww.
Last
Really?
official new series lockdown one. There's still a couple of things coming out from the classic lockdown, including one in June, which I'm looking forward to. But there's all sorts of other things still, all sorts of tweets along and whatever going around. Just look for it. No, not Time Lash. Time Lash, anagram, lame shite. Lame shit, sorry. Anyway, so, yes, the news. I think that was the Doctor Who news. I don't think there's any other Doctor Who news. There's a lovely little piece by Russell T. Davis, acted by Anna Home and someone else. Novice Haim's Final Secret, which was for the tweet along last night. And yes, I've had a look at it, and I must say it's pretty damn good. You see, I'm trying to come up with the cheerful stuff now. Sorry, love?
Isn't there a Tom Baker, David Tennant one?
Yes, that's
coming
Big
out?
Finish. That'll be next year.
Okay.
I think it's next
Oh.
year. Yeah, it's... I've got to admit, I'm quite looking forward to that.
I know, right?
The fangirl in me
That's
sort of going, ooh. So I have to wait and see. It's part of the 3-set thing, apparently. It's... I think they're basically teaming up classic Doctors with new series Doctors.
That'll be fun.
It will be fun, to be honest with you. Also, Big Finish have changed their ranges now, so each month will be a box set for different Doctors. So, and up to from the 1st to the 12th, so you get one a month each year. Though I should imagine
Jodie and Paul McGann team up.
Well, Big Finish don't have the thing for Jodie, do they?
No.
Don't have a license for it as yet. They will. And oh yeah, the Curator and McGann. Yes, there's a new set coming out, Stranded, 8th Doctor set. Too much information. Sorry, I'm looking at chat. Where the 8th Doctor and his companions are stranded on Earth in the Doctor's house in Baker Street. God, how many houses does this man have? And the Curator is involved from Day of the Doctor. So, yes, that could be interesting. Now, we're waiting for Brig Lover to turn up. I'm just saying. Brig Lover, when you turn up, kindly let us know in chat. Right, but the rest of the news hasn't been too good. Britain's coming close to 40,000 corona deaths. America, well, you've popped the 100,000 cap.
We
Well
popped
done.
the 100,000 and we're on fire.
Yeah, I was going to get to that.
Yeah.
It's just been this ongoing series of doom since 2016, when all the
I'm
pop
waiting
stars
for
and whatever
locusts
left
and
the planet.
frogs. When the honeybees leave, then we need to worry.
Well, they are leaving, aren't they?
It's
Bee-
definitely
bee-
less
bee-
work.
Bee populations are far down, are great down. A great down? What? Yeah, no, the riots in America, the race riots.
Yeah.
Um,
It's not race riots. It's really just riots.
no, I think it's right. I mean, it sparked off because of George Floyd.
It sparked off because one cop was...
He murdered someone.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Yeah,
it's not one
fucking wrong.
cop. It's God knows how many cops.
There's a lot of them.
You know, you can't just blame it on the one incident. The one incident
there's
was the final
there's the cop
spark.
that was not pepper spraying, but shooting paintballs at the news crew.
Yeah, the CNN reporter, because he was black, he was arrested.
No, that's a separate incident.
Oh, no, I know. There's a
The
woman
CNN
walking
reporter
down.
got arrested. Then there was this other cop with a paintball gun shooting a news crew during a live...
Yeah. Oh, I can believe it. I've seen loads of footage on Twitter, and I've double checked to make sure it's not stuff that's been hijacked from other things,
Other
such
riots
as
we've
a
had.
riot in Iraq or something like that.
Or any time a football team wins or loses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say, much as I deplore the actual rioting and the looting, I can't say I'm surprised. It's an expression of anger, but more than that, hello, Sean, more than that, for a good few decades now, we've been plumbing it into people's subconsciousnesses that you need to acquire nice stuff. So as a result, this is the chance to get nice stuff.
Well, there's also the whole took a knee. People were pissed about that. Other protests.
Oh yes, no, I'm sure,
Yeah.
and I do not condone it
What's
at all.
left?
I don't condone it, but I do understand it.
Without condemnation or condoning, it's understood.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, it's just no, and you're quite right. I mean, if you're upset about someone taking the knee at a football game, you don't bat an eyelid at these riots. There's something
Right.
very wrong with you.
Yeah.
If you're more concerned about, the destruction and the looting than the murder that caused it.
Murders.
Or, I'm sorry, the murders, because we've had a
Exactly.
couple. Black lady was shot in her own home by the police.
So we're gonna have a flashing blade challenge. Brian,
Yes.
we want you to sort America out, please. That is your challenge. Report back to us next week. Tell us how you've done.
I'll be going down to Washington and, stuff
Yep,
may
you
happen.
sort this out. And I will be coming back to you on this. I promise.
Right now,
Detailed
Captain
report,
America
please.
is very disappointed in all of us.
Yeah. We were thinking of taking you back, but we can't be bothered now. You're too unruly a child.
Honestly, I wouldn't take us back either. I mean,
Adam, thank you. We do have some positive news. SpaceX. Or Space 10.
we're in space again.
America is back in space again. You've got a means to put astronauts back into space yourselves.
Those two guys knew exactly when to get the hell off the planet.
Didn't they just?
All
they
I'm
picked
saying.
the time. They picked the time.
Yeah. And they took
Plus,
the
names
soup
are Bob
dragon
and
with
Doug.
them. They took the soup dragon with them. Oh, it's not the soup dragon, but it looks a bit like the soup dragon. I don't know if you've seen any of the footage from the cockpit, but there is a dragon floating around, a soft plushy dragon floating around in the zero G.
It's dinosaur.
Oh
on a
yes, a
spaceship
dinosaur on a spaceship, exactly.
with Bob and Doug.
With Bob and Doug. Those are
The
two
McKenzie brothers.
good names, aren't they? Bob and Doug.
No. You guys remember the McKenzie brothers?
No.
You guys? Oh, you never got Bob and Doug McKenzie over there?
No, we're civilized.
We're gonna have to do some homework on this.
Ivory Robot. I do not recognise that name. Are you new? If so, you
They
are.
know Bob and Doug.
You see, we. You're new. Well, you are very welcome, my friend. And I'm so sorry. There we go. And Radox the Green. I know Radox the Green. We've seen Radox the Green before. Is Briglover there yet? This is important. We need to find out. Because we've got some news for Eddie. Right. Oh, look at the worry on that man's incredibly quiet face. He's taking his hat off. Get it! Quick! Oh, fucking.
Oh. look at the logo. Well played, sir. Well played.
I was playing quiet, pitching my time, and just going to try and hopefully just switch the tone back to a little bit more light-hearted. But yeah, I am embracing the fact that I am not worthy of the logo. I am encouraging, I'm embracing it. It's me. I am not worthy of the logo.
I am totally
Probably never
wanting
will
it
be.
as a tattoo.
I don't
Well, that's coming.
believe
Just
it.
don't tell. Don't tell your mother, Sean, but that's coming.
Oh, God. An unworthy of the diamond logo baseball cap. I take mine off to you. That is nicely done. Oh, you get. Just as well, I forgot to get the... Yeah, hang on a moment. Hang on. Let me get the picture up, just to be on the safe side. Because you don't want to sort of
What's the
upset
match?
people. There we go.
It's a match.
There it is. That's better. That is basically what Eddie has on his baseball cap. And it's so apt, it hurts. So,
It's true.
it is true. Shall we get on to doing what it is what we're here to do? We don't have to, you know. We can just not bother.
Oh, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, and now from the worlds of BBC Television's Doctor Who, it's Doctor Who! Sean actually makes a good point in chat. Are you worthy of not being worthy of the diamond logo?
Of course.
Mm.
Just wait till you hear what I've got to say about Kroll.
Kroll.
Roll.
The fourth Doctor Who and his
Kroll.
plucky girl assistant, the first Romana Duratralunda, land on a moon of Delta Magna. And it's very marshy and very reedy there, so K9 stays behind, and the TARDIS grows an extra tall light. No idea why. However, the marshes and the swamps in that area are full of protein, and protein is what is needed to feed the worlds on, well, Delta Magna for a start. And so there are refineries there. And one in particular, run by a guy called Thorn, with his heart to say. And unfortunately, there are also indigenous life forms, swampies they're called, who are green. And they've employed the services of Rom Dutt, who's a pretty crap gun runner, if I'm honest with you. And into all this, the fourth Doctor and Romana walk looking for the fifth segment of The Key to Time, and the readings are blurred. That's all I'm saying. That's the setup. Brian, do speaking, please, if you wouldn't mind, about Kroll
Kroll.
and his power.
What is there to say about Kroll? He's
Well,
very
his
powerful,
name over and over and over.
apparently.
Yes.
Jumping up and down.
Oh, yep.
He is the largest calamari I have ever seen. If you breaded him, it would feed you for a week, maybe several weeks.
It would go
Could
off,
feed
though,
a
don't you think?
nation.
It would go off, though, surely. I mean, that's a bit too much.
I don't know. I mean, you'd have to have a fryer of equal size and proportion. But
And one of them Gallifreyan fridges, the ones that are bigger on the inside.
Oh,
so,
Yeah, where they've been
definitely,
keeping
you
it.
need
Yes,
that,
indeed,
yeah.
yes.
yeah.
So was it just me, or did anyone else notice that Kroll looked a lot like a Dalek without the
It certainly
can?
does. When you posted that, I totally agree. Yes, very, very Dalek.
All I had to do is run around and shout "exterminate." I would be sold.
You talking about the giant monster Kroll?
Yes.
Right, looks like the inside of a Dalek.
Yes.
No. The inside of a Dalek looks like Kroll. That came first.
Okay.
Nah.
We are unworthy of the diamond logo.
Diamond logo.
apparently.
Yeah,
I'll get
right.
you one made, Brian. I'll get it to you.
I just think that's marvellous. I think that's
And yeah,
magnificent.
that gun runner was the worst gun runner ever.
Well done.
He got paid. Why didn't he leave? You take the money, you go. It's not that hard of a business model.
Oh dear. Well,
Well,
they
let's
did
stick
turn
around.
around and say to him, "No, you're going to stay." And what they did sort of force him to stay a little bit, show us how the guns work, and you are going to fight with us, my brother Ron Dutt.
No. I got something else to do. I gotta get back.
I don't think
They're
you have a
expecting
choice.
me. The wife is calling. I gotta go.
Dinner time. Yeah.
Yep. There
Dinner's
are a
there.
lot of Doctor Who Illuminati in here. Illuminati? I don't know if that's the word.
Big Lover's
Yes.
here.
Hang on a second.
Brig
I've got
Lover.
wires. Brig Lover, hi. Oh, I can move on to this now. I'll come back to the acting roster for the Power of Kroll in a moment. You have a fan, Eddie.
Have I?
You have a fan. And I bet she's giggling and blushing terribly. Yeah, there's only one slight problem. Much like the rest of us, she can't understand a word you say.
Oh, don't worry. That's that. My own family can't understand a word I'm saying. True, Sean. So do you want me to slow down the speech pattern a little bit?
No. You see, I found out something last night by accident. Well, not even accident. It just occurred. This is linked to a Facebook page, Gaming Faffery, because the software I use, Streamlabs, sort of says, why not share it onto Facebook? And I had to create a page for it, and so I called it Gaming Faffery. And on there, it'll show the it plays the show live. Apparently, with subtitles.
Oh, I've got to see this. I've got to see this. Scottish, Glaswegian,
be
and
incredibly
voice
bad,
recognition
being
does
good.
not work.
What I will say is, even though my accent is pure BBC, it still has trouble. So fuck knows what it's going to make.
Oh, I want a link. I want to see this. I really
Yes,
need to
we-
see
I've
this.
no idea. I just saw it in a preview thing. I haven't actually checked out if it's there. But failing that, subtitles for the heathen dialogue that Eddie comes out with can be found on CFAX, page 888. Actors in Power of Kroll. Yes. Well, we've got John Abernethy as Ranquin. The High Priest, I think he was, wasn't he? Not page 666, no, 888, love. And then we've got Philip Maddock.
Yep.
Philip Maddock, who was actually a bit pissed off because he thought he was getting the role of Thrawn. But he didn't. He got the other role, the less satisfying role. I
Drama
can't
behind the scenes.
I can't remember who the actor is who plays Thrawn himself. It's on the tip of my mind.
Is Thrall the leader?
Thrawn, yeah, he's the nutter, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to steal Sean's observation, but we thought that was a busy night for Bruce Forsyth and he was doing double duty. It wasn't Bruce.
He played Barnum in Mind of Evil, I seem to remember. There we go. And then, of course, I'm sure you all recognised John Leeson, the voice of K9.
Was John? No.
I wondered.
Was he Kroll?
No, he wasn't Kroll, love. He was, he was one of the technicians. I can't remember all of their names. He was one of the technicians.
Oh, was he the one that was sucked into the tube?
I can't remember. I don't think so. But, yeah.
I noticed they were down a lot of technicians at the end.
They were down
Yeah,
a
that
lot of
was-
technicians. Once again,
was the
Doctor
Doctor
Who
Richards.
proving it can't really do tentacles. Yeah. Eddie, what did you make of it, love?
I loved it. It's really good because I have one Doctor Who box set that I got for Christmas about 5 years ago.
Wear
from
the hat
Sean.
harder.
Yeah.
Thank you. Only one box set.
It's exhausting though. I just watched the episode where all the extras are jumping up and down, running up and down. I was exhausted watching that. That was like a full 25 minutes of an episode of them running on spot, shouting "Kroll, Kroll, Kroll" repeatedly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you want a funny behind the scenes tale?
Please do.
Okay. You
Tell
know
us
they
the
were
story.
green.
Now I'll take your word for it. I'm colourblind, but yeah, I know that they weren't normal colour. Yeah.
Well, they were green.
The body paint was a little runny.
Runny.
missing it.
Funny you say that. They couldn't get it off. They had to be taken to an RAF base to have it scrubbed off them.
Okay.
Yeah. How do I know all this shit?
That's an encyclopedic brain for Doctor.
Well,
I
I
don't.
guess they
I
had
don't
wigs for
deliberately
the
learn it.
dreads
It's
and
just
everything.
there. Just
Oh
goes
wait,
in
were the
there.
dreads just recolors?
Bubble?
The dreadlocks that the high priest wore?
Hmm.
That was just a recolored wig, right?
Well, I'm guessing so. I don't know.
Oh. I thought I recognized the wig.
Okay. From where?
In from another Doctor Who episode, something about androids that were rivals, enemies of the Daleks.
Oh, the
It was
Novellans.
silver.
The Novellans.
Different wig,
Yeah,
love. Different wig.
Novell. Yeah.
I mean, plus Destiny of the Daleks hasn't happened yet. That's next year. And we might do it just for the sheer yucks and giggles, if I'm honest with you. It could be fun.
You can probably confirm this one as well because it's again, Mary Tam's role is getting weaker and weaker as the weeks go on, and by this point, she's nothing more than a kind of substitute fairy for Kroll.
I did
you can
like
really
the
see why
fact.
she's getting-
I love the fact that the cliffhanger where the monster turns up and it's obviously a guy in a fucking suit turns out to be a guy in a fucking
a guy in
suit.
a suit.
Yeah.
Nice subversion there.
They
That was a
steered
double
into that
serve.
skid.
And that's a nice one. It was written by Robert Holmes. Notice anything familiar about it? Gun running to a small moon. Kaiser Androzani.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Not one of Holmes's best scripts, but not one of his worst either, quite frankly. I'm looking at you, Space Pirates. So, that was that one. Did we enjoy it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
good
It was
role.
good fun.
Liked it.
Good light,
Yep.
light-heart.
Anytime there's a
light-hearted
giant
entertainment.
monster. it's a
And
good
fair
time.
dues. I mean, for Doctor Who to try the biggest monster it could possibly do, back in 1978, where inflation's starting to get a bit nippy, fair dues to them for trying.
Yeah,
And
that
not
was
doing
always
such a
fine.
bad...
They're
They're not doing it so badly, you know?
Where was
Yep,
that
for
all
its time.
filmed?
Probably Norfolk somewhere, I'm guessing. Because it was flat. I could be wrong. I would have to check. But
And
yeah.
the hovercrafts were fun.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
that
the
was-
hovercrafts were
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, I can imagine Pertwee doing this story.
I'm thinking probably Chroma that was filmed in.
Chroma, you say?
Oh, Adam thinks the same. Yeah.
No, I think
Chroma.
Adam's
Yeah.
possibly taking the piss. I might be wrong, but he might be taking the piss. I don't know. I hope you're going to wear that hat at Hooverville.
Oh, it's coming with me. It's
Oh,
coming with me.
damn good. I approve. Right.
It's £2.50 I've ever spent.
Right then. So, now. We've also done other listening. We've done listening a big finish for you. So, Power of Kroll, thumbs up from us. There's nothing hugely deep about the Power of Kroll that we know of. And even if there were, we probably wouldn't go into it. It's fun. Next week, it's the Armageddon Factor. It's a 6-parter. It's the finale, as you would call it, to the Key to Time series. What could possibly happen? Tell you what, have you seen the Armageddon Factor, either of you?
Yes.
Once, probably long ago.
Right, in that case, I can't play the guess what's going to happen gig. It's a shame, but there we go. Right, also I should say that the next story is one of the very first that Douglas Adams had him get into. See if you can spot it. Right, big finish. We did listening. New stuff out. We did the Scorched Earth, which Brian and Eddie are going to talk about shortly because I didn't manage to finish it, unfortunately. But before that, something very short. It's a short trip called Regeneration Impossible, performed by Jacob Dudman. Jacob's a great impersonator. He really, really is. His Matt Smith is uncanny, quite
Perfect.
frankly.
It's
And
Matt
he
Smith.
has matured into a superb narrator of stories. And I really enjoyed this. Like I say, it's just a short story set just before the snowman. where the Doctor's sulking up on a cloud, and suddenly there's an energy reading, and it's, oh, hang on, there's a Time Lord regenerating. I better go and find out, because of course this is before the day of the Doctor. He doesn't know there's any other Time Lords around. And so he goes down to this place, and yeah, there is a Time Lord regenerating. It's this grumpy, grey-haired Scotsman with eyebrows that will kill you as soon as look at you. It's a 11 and 12 crossover. And it's a hell of a lot of fun. It really is. It isn't a heavy thing. This isn't continuity heavy or whatever. It's just something, if you know you're listening to 2 incarnations of the Doctor, which I'm sure if you're going to listen to this, you will do. It's just fun. It's good. It's nice. It's lovely. Which one of you two listened to it? Eddie, what did you make, please?
It's take Doctor Who. It'd be a perfect scenario for a Doctor Who kind of escape room, because that's basically what it is. It's the 2 Doctors in an escape room. I'm getting very, very careful because it's only on 27, 28 minutes. It's less than 30 minutes.
It's 24 minutes long, actually.
Yeah.
I think so. It's short.
Near enough the like a classic episode. It's 2 Doctors trapped in a room, got to figure it out. There's you're like horror, Brian. There's elements of a kind of like Saw-like manipulator as well in there too. Dudman's impersonation of Matt Smith is flawless. I could not fault it at all. If you hadn't have told me that was somebody impersonating Matt Smith, I would have been totally fooled.
He's a real talent.
His Capaldi is nearly there.
He's working on it.
And again, yeah, it's nearly there. It's trained Scottish ear and somebody that's watched Capaldi for years. It's very impressive, but he's a smidgen, just a little bit of work to do on it, and then he'll have that perfect as well.
I said last week, Capaldi's a tricky one.
Yeah.
It's getting for those of us who don't have the Scottish accent, it's getting the right Scottish accent, and then it's adding the gruffness on top of it, as well as there's a bit of Billy Connolly in Capaldi's performance every now and again, where he could just suddenly jump around shouting "Jobby," you know. It's
like you have to be born a grumpy owl.
Yeah, but he loosens up.
That's all I can
it's rock
picture
god.
every time I hear it.
It's disreputable uncle, really, is what he is now. That's how he ends up.
Capaldi's got what we call in Glasgow, he's kind of North Kelvin side accent. It's Glaswegian-esque, but polite. Then it's got that gruffness to it as well. And like you said, the observation about Connolly's spot on, because Dudman's impersonation sometimes elevated towards more Connolly, and I felt as if it was going away. But that's because he's got that element in his repertoire as well.
Yeah.
No, again, hats off. I mean, he's 1997 he was born, so he's a young guy, and unbelievable. And like I said, Matt Smith is.
It's uncanny, isn't it? It's
seriously.
I think
Capaldi is just nearly there. I mean, a bit of work. That's Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi better work out because they're redundant. They've got a young guy there that could take their spot.
Oh, trust me, we can cover all of them if we need to. We're just waiting in the wings, waiting for it to happen. What's it? I don't know if I'm right on this, and Jacob, if you are watching this, because I'm going to link you in on the tweet because you deserve this praise. I think it was Jacob who started all this off. I think he put a video up of Matt Smith doing some cooking, or Matt Smith's Doctor doing some cooking, and it was bloody hilarious, and the impersonation was just brilliant. Back then, if that was Jacob, like I say, it's a long time ago. Yeah, Jacob, we again, hats off to you, mate. Well done, really, really well done, and you turned into such an amazing narrator as well. Real talent for Big Finish and everywhere else. So there we go. We recommend that one, especially if you've got a half hour's trip whenever you go back to work. Yeah. So moving on. Now this is a good one. This is a double CD. Well, it's not a double CD set. It's a 4-part download. It's Doctor Who and the Scorched Earth, where the 6th Doctor Who and his plucky girl assistants Flip and Constance turn up in liberated France just after. Well, the war's still going on, I believe, and let's just say there's retribution in the air. And we've lost Eddie again. How uncanny is that? Who'd have thought we'd have lost Eddie?
No, I'm back. Every week it does
yes.
it without fail.
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, it does.
Yep. Who are your internet providers? Let's give them a shout out.
Virgin Media.
Oh, so are mine. Yeah.
They're good. It's just.
They're really good
for
when they
any-
work, but if they go wrong, they're hopeless. That's the best way
Call
of
for
describing
tech
them.
support.
How we do at the moment, most of the tech support. Now, this is where I'm.
This is the financial arm. There's nothing wrong with them. Virgin Media is great. They could potentially.
The problem I've got with Virgin
problems
Media,
here.
and we are drifting because this is what we do in the show, and this is where I'm going to sound slightly racist, and I don't intend to be racist. Allow me to give my reasoning for this. For something like Virgin Media to have a call centre in somewhere like India or Pakistan, I can understand it makes financial sense. However, when you're dealing with tech issues, you need to be able to talk to somebody who speaks the language fluently, or at least as clear as possible, and who isn't just going to stick to the script that they've been given. You need to be able to talk to people and backwards and forwards. Now, Virgin have also got a tech centre in Scotland, for example, and the satisfaction levels are a hell of a lot better because you can sit there and you can talk to the guys and you can work it all out. Whereas if you get, for example, one of the Indian call centres, you don't. You're stuck on a script, and it's very frustrating. So that's my only problem, the very fact that you need to be able to deal with this to do the job. And people at the moment, in my experience, from the Indian call centres, don't. Oh God, I hope that wasn't racist. I've got a genuine, serious point why it's like that, but you're looking at me as if I'm scum.
No, I'm just thinking that you've got to remember that a lot of call centres for Sky and for a lot of banks are actually based in Glasgow and Clydebank.
Yeah.
So you probably could say the same thing. So, yeah, so...
Well, it is. It is simply a case of you phone up, if you get through to the Scottish one, you can just sit there, chat with the guy and sort it all out. If you don't, if you get through to one of, for example, the Indian ones, you're having to listen to them go through a script. And it just doesn't work.
Have you plugged it back in? Have you done this?
All that sort of stuff. And it's a case of, no, hang on, I've done all that,
They tick
mate.
off everything. Yeah.
But even if you tell them in advance, they just stick to the script, and it's just, I just want... But that's my only reason, and I hate it if it seems like I'm racist, because I really don't have a problem with them being over there, except for that one bit. Anyway, right, yeah, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, Scorched Earth. So, I wanted to talk to my father before listening to this, and I haven't had a chance to yet. I've caught the opening of it, but I thought, no, I'm going to talk to Dad. As you know, I come from a little island just off the coast of France called Jersey. And during the Second World War, we were occupied up until the day after VE Day, May the 9th, we were liberated. And I want to talk to Dad about what it was like after liberation. I wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth before I listened to this. So that's why I haven't really listened to it. I need to phone my father. So there we go. Yeah, so boys, you've listened to it. So this is your bit. I'll shut up.
Okay. Eddie, you go first.
Well, so Scorched Earth it's a historical. It's set, as you said, Siobhan. It's France. It's just after liberation, or just on the cusp of just liberation's just happened. The Doctor, and I'm going to do this from memory, Flip and Connie,
Constance,
are his companions. Connie was plucked out of World War II, so this is her getting to see a preview of the whole war coming to end. And I'm assuming Flip's modern day companions are somebody from like the noughties. So there's a good dichotomy there. The whole thing is around, there is the French resistance are obviously celebrating, and there's a lot of celebration in the streets. But the whole thing behind it is, even after that, these people are scarred. There's a lust there for revenge.
It's understandable.
How people cope with that.
it's understandable. Like I say, I mean, I grew up with stories of the occupation, and I can understand the anger afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
agree
Connie
with
put
it,
it
but I
brilliantly.
understand it.
It's not like a switch gets flipped. It's
Yeah.
something they have to live with and work through.
But it's beautifully written. It's the whole thing around it is it's total shades of grey, and because you've got Flip there, who comes from modern day times, and is witnessing this, she's like the conscience for Connie in terms of. So Connie's there, and she's suffered all the way through the Second World War. I'm not going to say things happen. She witnesses it, and it puts Connie in a dilemma in terms of whether or not she actually agrees with what she's seen, whereas Flip is trying to say that's not acceptable and it's wrong, and judgments are being made without full stories being made, without full understanding of what people have been through on both sides, which is really quite key. There is a monster in this, but the monster is kind of a peripheral story.
I was going to say, does it seem surplus?
Yeah.
The whole thing around this is it's an educational piece. It's an exploration of human emotions, that the traumas of war, and everything about it I should have hated. No monster. All very lovey-dovey and exploring human emotions and a little bit of history and backstory. And seriously, this if there's any example of why Colin Baker was wasted on TV as Doctor Who, this story's it. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to listening to it.
Colin Baker gives a great performance. He's got that kind of old, kind of gravelly element to his voice now as well, but doesn't matter. He knocks it out of the park. His Doctor is obviously matured to such an extent here that it's absolutely nothing compared to his character on TV now. He's matured. He's more empathetic. I can't even say he's got more empathy. He's a fatherly figure to his two companions. Seriously, Siobhan, if you don't love it, I'd be very surprised. It's a great story.
I'll come back to you
Really
next
good
week on it then.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Let me talk to Dad first, and then I'll come back to you. Brian,
So I quite liked it.
Yeah.
I gathered that.
I agree. It is a fantastic story. It explores a whole. It's dark too, with people examining, what they went through, how they're going to progress. World War II made them filled with hate, and it's how they're dealing with it. The war for them is over. How are they going to go on?
Yeah.
I love Colin in the beginning. He steps out. He's like, looks around. Oh, we should go back.
Well, Constance.
Back in the box, everyone.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't want to spoil the future for Connie, but at the same time, he also knows this is a pretty dark period of Earth history.
Yeah. Pretty dark, one of the darkest. Yeah, would you recommend it? Both of you?
Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt.
Without hesitation.
Okay, it's brand new.
This
from
actually
Big Finish.
made me like Colin Baker's Doctor.
Oh, trust me. Oh, Brian, sweetheart, Big Finish has done amazing things with him. Oh, that's it. We're going to dig out. We're going to dig out some audios for you, love. We're going to dig out some corkers for you. All right. Okay. I've got to introduce you to Evelyn at some stage. That's going to be fun. Right then. So there we go. That's Doctor Who and the Scorched Earth. It's a Big Finish audio, and it's available now from their website at bigfinish.com. God, look at me actually doing proper things. And yeah, it's brand new, so enjoy it. It's download only at the moment because of the virus. Well worth it, apparently. So there we go. Right, that's Doctor Who. We've done the Doctor Who stuff. I'm sure it will never come up again. The prisoner has decided to play chess. But he's seen somebody, you see. He saw somebody walking whilst Rover was on the prowl. Whilst everybody else is completely frozen, this guy walks and just carries on with his business. Hello, says the prisoner. Why is this? Susses that there's guards and prisoners in the village, and basically tries to find out who the prisoners are and if they'd be willing to escape with him. It goes tits up, obviously, but it goes tits up for a magnificent reason. Brian, I go to you first, and then we'll have
All right.
Mr. Genius. I'm going to have to get one of these things unworthy of the penny farthing.
Leave it with me.
No. Brian, what do you make of it?
I liked it. It wasn't bad. Prisoner got a girlfriend involuntarily.
Mm.
They took what was it, number 8, and stuck some chips in her brain and gave her electric shock.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that she loved him. He made a friend.
He did.
I like it when he makes friends.
Hunter from Callum, the very
Yeah.
first Hunter. You don't know what I'm talking about.
The very problem is, his friend doesn't trust him.
Well, that's just it. You see, when I say Hunter, it's played by Ronald Rad. He's known as the Rook in this because initially on the chess game he was playing the part of the Rook, and everybody calls him that.
Yeah.
And he breaks conformity, and so they take him to the hospital and do a number on him. And he ends up becoming quite compliant. And number 6 is his usual self. I don't want to give the ending away because it's such a lovely twist. And for those people who have not watched it, I don't want to give it away. So
Suffice it to say, he does not escape. There, that's the ending.
No.
which is just as well, really, because there's more episodes to come. Eddie,
Yeah.
without giving the ending away, what can you tell us about this one?
Well, so the whole premise of this episode is that, so you've said that it's the chess master he's referred to. So he's one of the prisoner is all about a human game of chess, and quite literally they have a human game of chess in this episode.
Yeah.
They can't spell E anymore. The chess master is the character that he sees. As Rover goes through the town, everybody stops, but this guy walks on. He ignores it. So 6 sees his kindred spirit. We get to the game of chess, and the chess master explains his theory that you can actually, if you look very closely, there's a test you can apply, and you can tell the guards from the prisoners. That's the premise, and I'm saying no more than that because it will spoil the ending.
What I will say is you've gone out of sync.
Oh,
We're nearly back
time.
now. I know it's quite funny. We love it when you do that. We play. What is he saying
It's
just
nothing
before he
to do
says
with
it?
Virgin Media. It's me. I'm just a very bad ventriloquist.
Also, your
Peter
shadow
Wingard
is
was
very
in this.
unfortunate.
A shadow.
Yeah, your shadow on the wall behind you. There's no point looking because you won't see it because your head's turned.
No, I can see it on Twitch. Go on, look at that duck.
That's unfortunate.
This isn't a popular view, but this has got my favourite number 2.
Jason Wingard.
Peter
Wingard. Sorry, Peter Wingard.
Peter Wingard.
Jason King, sorry.
Clytus. Jason
Clytus.
King from Department S. Jason King. Clytus from
Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
I just think the man is a one. It just exonifies cool, and even though he's not got the Jason King dreadlocks and mutton chops, and he's just there's an element there where his number 2 meditates and does karate, and a younger me would have loved that. It was like somebody doing karate and chopping through boards. Say no more, but he's just he's deliciously. He's a cool number 2.
For Peter Wingard, he really downplays it.
Yeah,
Because I mean, he was Timonov in Planet of Fire, the Davison story, and he goes for it a bit there. Here, yes.
Well, I wonder if Magoon probably got him to dial it down because he's the king of camp as well. Just look at him as Clytus and Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
There was that element of But so no, this is a good solid story, and albeit we're heading to a lovely crescendo. But a lot of people would say McCairn is their favourite number 2.
Sean just
No, I'm
has.
sorry, mine's all right. No, I didn't even.
Oh, you're
Yeah, no,
regenerating
sorry.
again.
Yeah, I'm looking up, seeing what's coming from Big Finish for next week.
So no, I think Wingard I just admire as a man. He's so cool, and again, it's dialed down in this, but yeah, the whole premise of this is that be careful what you do because it can come back and bite, and it's a great episode. And I'll leave it there because I don't go into this episode knowing as little as you possibly can because it's just deliciously.
Yeah, it's a really good episode.
It's not a deliciously evil ending. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what's next week's story?
Next week's story will be, and I've wrote it down so don't forget, Hammer and Anvil.
Oh, I like this one. Oh, yeah, so I'm going to be happy. It's a good one. Yeah. I'm saying no more, Brian. I think you'll enjoy it. Isn't this the one that introduces that ridiculous sport they have of bouncing around, hitting each other with...
Yes.
This is funny. It's a funny sport. Oh, dear. Anyway, well, that's it now. Next week. So we've got the Armageddon Factor. We've got Hammer into Anvil. Now, the big finish... This is going to be slightly different. Brian and Eddie are going to be listening to The Human Frontier. Now, this is a new Pure SF thing from Nick Briggs. I'm not going to do it because I really don't like Pure SF. I will give it a shot, though, just to see. And if it grabs me, I will stay with it. And that will be the highest praise I could probably give it, to be honest with you. Because something Pure SF that makes me stick through. Fair dues. So we'll wait and see on that one next week. There might be something else added to it. I'm not sure. It all depends on Big Finish's release schedule. The trouble is we record these on Sunday. We do these on Sundays. And Big Finish tends to release during the week. So it's a bit tricky. Yeah. So it'll be The Human Frontier and maybe something else. So unless you want to do you want to do a Doctor Who audio of some kind?
Well, if there's one out there, yeah. Sure.
I'll see what I can dig up for you. We might see if we can find another Colin one for Brian.
Oh, for Brian. Yeah, that'd be good.
I'll see what I've got.
I will say I have been doing a lot of $6 Million Man watching this last week.
You've been watching the $6 Million Man?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, has he gone up against the Death Probe yet?
He's gone up against the Death Probe.
What about Death Probe 2?
Actually, on Bigfoot 2.
Ooh, Jamie Summers will be in this one.
Yes.
I watched these when they were originally broadcast over here, and I absolutely loved them, and I couldn't be Steve Austin in the playground because Sean Bisson, who was a year ahead of me, could do the eyebrow properly, and also he could run in slow motion better than I could. So, but I love the Death Probe ones. Mars Probe and the Venus Probe.
I think there's a Return of Death Probe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You've got the Mars Probe, which is the initial one, and then the Venus Probe. It's the noise. That noise has stuck with me since childhood. Absolutely amazing. Right, we're going away. Fuck this. Let's fuck off. You had Action Man rip-off $6 Million Man. It wasn't really a rip-off. I'm going to be honest with you. It was quite solid. Whereas Action Man was a bit bendy, this thing wasn't. And the rubber on his arm used to disintegrate an awful lot.
I actually had Bionic Bigfoot.
Bionic eye.
Yes, didn't make you look creepy at all.
I had the Bionic Bigfoot toy, so you know.
Oh yeah, there's a Bigfoot toy. I know you had the Oscar Goldman toy.
He fought my Godzilla all the time.
There was the Oscar Goldman toy. There was obviously the Bionic Woman toy, and there was the Fembot toy. And I think there was also an Oscar Goldman as a bad guy, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, no, it's not the same guy that played Buck Rogers. That was Lee Majors in $6 Million Man. Gil Gerard.
Gil Gerard.
In Buck Rogers.
Yeah.
That's another one I got to rewatch a lot.
It's the same guy that the Fall Guy.
Yeah, and was also in Community.
Yeah. I got to watch Buck Rogers a lot more, too, because I have a thing for Aaron Gray in that satin jumpsuit.
You managed to go
no.
the whole show without perving.
No, Princess Ardala over Aaron Gray.
In the space bikini, yeah.
Sorry.
That's like sex on a stick.
Forces TV, God bless them. Repeat Buck Rogers on loop. It's glorious. I've got that on my TV downstairs.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
Hello, Pinkyo7. Thank you for tuning in. And bye, everyone. There's a goat coming up, especially for Adam.